Hello everyone, my name is LaShondra Tinsley, and me and my friend went to the memorial for Kiyah Bryant. While we were there, we spoke with her family. Now I'll get to that in a second, but before I do, I want to ask you for a brief moment while you're listening and watching this video, erase all the images that you've seen from the media as it pertains to Kiyah Bryant. And the reason why I'm asking you to do that is because the video I'm about to show you, I want you to see it with a fresh set of eyes. Now the video I'm referring to is the video from her neighbor's camera. Now, off the rip, when the cop gets out of the car, you'll notice that he has his hand on the gun the entire time. Just take time to notice that part. Now, after you recognize that part, let's move to the next part. Notice how long Kiyah is actually standing in front of the officer. While she is standing in front of him, he could have grabbed her, he could have pushed her, he could have kicked her, he could have took his hand off of that gun and put his hand on the taser. He had enough time. Now watch the video. He had enough time to de-escalate the situation. Now I want you to watch how the officer struggles to pull his gun out the holster. Those minutes that he's struggling, those seconds that he's struggling to get his gun out of the holster could have been seconds that he used. Instead of having his hand on that gun, he could have had that hand free, again to grab Kiyah, again to push Kiyah. Let's remember, their jobs is to de-escalate the situation. This is a fight. The officer's life was not in jeopardy one time. Why does he constantly have his hand on the gun? Why is he even trying to pull the gun out? Now, some people say that they heard Kiyah scream that she had a knife and she was going to stab somebody or something like that. Even still, the threat was not towards the officer. The officer is trained for situations like this. The officer could have pushed her. He could have kicked, yes, with the knife in her hand, if the knife was in her hand at that time. Because honestly, in this video, you can't even see the knife. But let's just say it was. He still had time to grab her, to push her, to kick her, heck, to even take his hand off of that gun and put his hand on the taser. But yet he still chooses to struggle pulling the gun out of the holster. Why? You are a trained officer of the law. Why are you so focused on pulling that gun out? Now let's go prior to that. When the video first starts, you'll notice that there's three ladies standing there. When I went to the memorial and spoke with Kiyah's family, they told me that the foster mother had one of the previous foster children harassing Kiyah. This previous foster child was 28 years old, a grown woman. Now, if you'll listen, I'm going to play a clip as well. There is a live that her sister went on live right after Kiyah's murder, because I feel the cop did it intentionally. Yes, I do, and I'll tell you why in a second.
I want to go ahead and play what her sister and I'm going to say is alleging what happened. So here's the video.
Lost my motherfucking sister, y'all on this bitch playing around, and all she had a knife, nigga, because she was trying to protect herself, nigga, from a grown-ass motherfucking woman, bitch. It's so dumb. My bitch is on this bitch playing, and my baby got out, bitch. What you mean? How? The fuck? She got this bitch house. She's at our foster lady's house, bitch. It's her, Janiyah, and Beautiful. The foster lady got the next grown-ass bitch that used to be her foster kid at the house. This bitch 30 years, 29 years old. Telling my sisters what to do, calling them bitches, bald-headed bitches, all this shit. Starting shit with them. My youngest sister called the police. She like, can y'all get over here, please? These girls is trying to fight us. You know, we don't want to call my dad over here to get shit egged on. We don't want to get put the fuck up out of here. You feel me? Can y'all come over here, please? Boom. Nobody never comes. Nobody never comes. So they call my dad. My dad got to come out that bitch to come and pick my sister up. Mind y'all been fucking with my sister since the day before yesterday. Calling her all type of names, doing all that shit, man. My baby so motherfucking lovable, man. I'm telling y'all, nigga, she want her to fly. Nigga, she want her to fly. Nigga, this my lovable sister ever, nigga. She want her to fly. Nigga, she don't be on none of that shit. To know her, man. To know her, you would know. To know her, you would know. Y'all on this bitch playing like some shit cool when bitches at your motherfucking house. My baby 16 years old. This bitch 28, 29 years old. You bringing other bitches over there trying to fight her. She didn't call the police. You're the same motherfuckers that's supposed to protect. What the fuck did y'all protect?
Okay, so you can tell she is extremely upset, as she has a right to be, because her sister is no longer with us. And thank you to Vegas Syndrome. Ohio is a stand your ground state. Why is she not allowed to defend herself?
When I was speaking to the family at the memorial, they told me that Ma'Khia's foster mother had the 28-year-old there to beat Ma'Khia up. Ma'Khia had been being threatened, had been being disrespected, had been being bullied for not 1 day, not 2 days, but 3 days in a row. 16 years old, being bullied by a 28-year-old woman. Now, as you can see, there's 2 other women in that video. From my understanding, they are adults as well. Can you imagine the terror, the fear? Ma'Khia was in that house with her sisters. Her foster mother was against her. The foster sisters was against her. She was in that house by herself. You don't think that she felt like she had to do something to protect herself? The only thing that she could think of as a 16-year-old to defend herself was a knife. Now, let's not forget that Ma'Khia called the police. No, as a matter of fact, Ma'Khia's little sister called the police. The first time she called the police did not come. Then they wanted to wait to call their dad because I don't know what type of father they got, but according to Ma'Khia's sister's lie, she's saying that they did not want to call her dad because they were trying to do anything to avoid the situation, to avoid fighting the girls, to avoid whatever that they were going through. But the police never came. Imagine being tortured, being bullied, being scared for 3 days straight. She didn't know what those girls were going to do to her. And this is what we know. We don't know if previously there was any other incidents with those ladies, because there is an article that was published by the 10 TV news station that said that the police have been called to that residence 7 times. And Ma'Khia's little sister, Janiyah, had called and asked them to come get her, stating that she had gotten into a fight and she didn't want to be in that foster home anymore. The police officer told her that they didn't have authority or something to that matter to move her. And they said that Ma'Khia's little sister, Janiyah, became irate and said that if she didn't leave, she was going to kill somebody. Now, in order for a child to say something like that, that lets you know that there has to have been something going on in that home for a while. Who did she get into a fight with? Was it those girls that had been bullying her older sister for 3 days in a row? And so before you make a decision about this case, I ask you to think about the information that I just presented to you. I think there's something going on psychologically in the Black community. And I think it's kind of similar to what has been termed the Stockholm Syndrome. You know, where the people were in the bank and they ended up feeling sorry and feeling bad for the people who were holding them captive. And the reason why I say this is because our community was so quick to villainize this 16-year-old girl. I wonder if it was a defense mechanism, because in our community we've seen time after time after time in cases where police have gotten away when it was clearly evident that the police officer was in the wrong for the murders of countless Black men and Black women. Have we developed some type of psychology so that it won't hurt us the next time an officer gets away with another crime? Think about that. My hope is that the BCI department does a thorough investigation and is transparent with their findings. If I can review this video and see the video the way that I just described to you, I'm sure they can. Their technology is way more advanced. They have way more information and they have way more knowledge than I do. So I pray to God that they are transparent, because these type of officers have to be off the streets. These agencies have to be held accountable. These foster parents have to be held accountable. 28-year-old adult women going to fight 16-year-old children have to be accountable. And Black people, we have to have some type of hope in our community. We have to fight for each other. We cannot victimize people when, you know, just off the rip without even having a complete and full information. We have to be there for each other, and we have to support each other. This girl was the victim. She was enraged. She was hurt. She was scared. The only time she felt a little bit of protection when her dad was there, that emboldened her to be able to finally fight back after all of that torture that she endured, after all of that bullying she endured, that we know of for 3 days straight by a grown woman, and potentially 3 grown women. Now everybody, we have to come together as a state. Heck, we have to come together as a nation. There are white supremacists that are having a field day with this. But there are even more white people who are just as disgusted or maybe even undecided as I am. How do I know? That guilty verdict on not 1, not 2, but all 3 charges proves that as a nation, we are ready to move forward. So let's do it. Let's not let what the white supremacist is doing, what the bad cops are doing, stop us. Let's take this victory and let's keep going. We have to convict these cops that are doing this. Since the Derek Chavin trial verdict, there has been 10 murders, 10, by police taking advantage of their power. We have moved forward. Let's continue. Let's not go back. Let's move forward. Let's get these cops convicted. Let's get them off the street. Let's stand together. Everybody, Black, white, brown, whatever color you are, let's stand together as a state, as a nation, so that we can continue to move forward and end the terror, the reign of white supremacy once and for all. I hope you'll stand with us. So please, again, review this video. I hope you like it. If you like the information you see in the video, give it a like. For future content, subscribe to my channel and click the bell. I want to thank you for watching. My name is Tinsley, and bye-bye for now.
I realize that now more than ever.